Hi, my name is Mike Wells and I'm with Aquatech Pools. Today I'll be providing you with some basic information to help you become a better and more efficient pool operator. Keeping proper records is an essential responsibility and takes the guesswork out of pool and spa operations. Good records are important because they show how the facility operates, helping to reduce wasteful spending, ensure employee and guest safety, and reduce liability to the facility. To start off, you want to go through a checklist. A good checklist should include a visual check of the main drain cover to ensure it is visible and secure. You have to be able to see the drain cover. If not, no one can swim. Check all safety equipment to ensure it is in good working order and accessible. Check all handrails to ensure they are securely fastened. Check and clean the skimmer baskets. Check the water temperature in the pool and spa and set to the recommended setting for your facility. For a safe and crystal clear pool, one of the main things we need to have is properly balanced pool chemistry. Ordinarily, total alkalinity is the first parameter to be corrected. Exceptions are when pH is very low. Bring it closer to 7.0 first. Next in importance is pH, followed by calcium hardness. pH is measured on a scale from 0 to 14, with a pH of 7 being neutral. Below 7, the water is acidic, and above 7, the water is basic or alkaline. The pH range recommended for pools and spas is slightly alkaline, which assists bather comfort, as the pH of the human eye is about 7.5. Total alkalinity is the measure of the ability of water to resist changes in pH. It is a determination of all the alkaline components in the sample that act as a buffer against pH changes. Calcium hardness is the calcium portion of the total hardness. The level of calcium determines whether the water is overly soft or hard. Excessively high levels cause cloudy water and scale. Levels too low will harm the pool by dissolving calcium from contact surfaces such as grout or concrete. Now I'd like to show you how to test the water. First, you need to take a water sample. The water sample should be taken at least 18 inches below the water surface in areas away from the return lines. Insert a clean plastic bottle, bottom side up, to the required depth. Use the sample water to fill the comparator tube to the appropriate levels. When adding any reagent dropwise to the water sample, hold the bottle vertically. Holding the bottle at an angle may distort the drop size and lead to inaccurate results. Test each factor and record the results on a daily log. Have the date and time the water was tested, along with any corrections made, with the amount and kind of chemical used to make the correction. After testing, flush out sample cells with fresh water to avoid any residue from interfering or contaminating the next test. There are 3 types of chlorine residuals which need to be measured to determine sanitizer efficiency: free, total, and combined chlorine. Free chlorine is the workhorse of sanitation, killing germs and oxidizing organics. Combined chlorine is formed by the reaction of free chlorine with ammonia waste from bathers. Combined chlorine causes the characteristic chlorine odor of heavily used pools and spas and is responsible for eye and mucous membrane irritation. Such irritation can be noticed at levels as low as 0.2 parts per million. Combined chlorine has little sanitizing capability. Total chlorine is just the sum of free chlorine and combined chlorine. You need to make sure that all precautions are being taken when handling pool chemicals. Read and understand all manufacturers' labels. This means using eye protection whenever needed. Also, wearing rubber safety gloves is always recommended. There are many different types of chemical dusts and fumes that you can come in contact with. Be sure to always wear the appropriate form of respiratory mask. Use a 5-gallon bucket to dilute the chemical. Whenever you are required to mix the chemical with water together, always add the chemical to the water. This will help eliminate any splashing. If you're ever in doubt, it's always safety first. Formulas to determine how much chemicals to use, along with how to calculate total gallons of water and saturation index, are available at our website. When maintaining your equipment, it is important to always read and follow all manufacturer safety and operating instructions. Please note that a filter removes suspended matter and does not sanitize the pool. The pool water must be sanitized and the water must be chemically balanced for sparkling clear water. Your filter system should be designed to meet your local health codes. As a minimum, you must be sure that your system will turn over the total volume of water in your pool at least 2 to 4 times in a 24-hour period. Never drain a pool or spa with the valve in the backwash position, as it may cause damage to your filter. Also, always use the waste position on the valve to bypass the filter when draining. Here are a couple ways to identify when a filter needs backwash. The most accurate indicator on a pool system with a flow meter is to backwash when the flow is decreased by 30% from the original flow. For example, if the original flow was 60 gallons per minute, the filter should be backwashed when the flow is reduced to 40 gallons per minute. The most commonly used but less accurate indicator is the backwash when the filter gauge reading increases by 10 psi over the initial reading. To backwash your filter, first stop the pump. Ensure that the suction and backwash lines are open so that water is free to come from and flow out of the backwash lines. Set the multi-port valve to the backwash position. Stand clear of the filter and start the pump. Backwash the filter for about 3 to 5 minutes or until the water is clean. Stop the pump. Then set the multi-port valve to the rinse position. Stand clear of the filter and start the pump. Let rinse for about 30 seconds, then stop the pump. And set the multi-port valve to the filter position. Ensure that the pool lines is open so that the water may freely flow from the pool back to the pool. Open the air bleeder valve on top of the filter. Stand clear of the filter and start the pump. Close the manual bleeder valve when all the air is removed and a steady stream of water emerges from the bleeder. The filter has now started its filtering cycle. You should ensure that the water is returning to the pool and take note of the filter pressure. The filter pressure should not exceed the pressure originally observed on the filter when it was initially started. If after backwashing the pressure is 4 to 6 psi above the start condition, it will be necessary to chemically clean the sand bed. When chemically cleaning your sand beds, it is recommended that an improved cleaner be used. Whether using sand or Zeo Sand, these cleaners will remove oils, scale, and rust from the sand bed in one cleaning operation. You can contact us for the proper cleaner. Mix the solution following the manufacturer's instructions on the label. Backwash the filter first. If the filter is below pool level, shut off the pump and close the appropriate valves to prevent draining the pool. Open the filter drain and let the filter drain. After the filter is drained, close the filter drain and remove the pump lid. Ensure that the backwash lines are open. Turn the pump on and slowly pour the cleaning solution into the pump strainer with the pump running. Continue adding the solution until the sand bed is saturated with cleaning solution, then replace the pump lid. Continue adding the solution until the sand bed is saturated with cleaning solution. Replace the pump lid when you're done. Shut the pump off and leave the filter in the backwash position. Allow the filter to stand overnight for 12 hours. After 12 hours, come back and backwash again. Do not allow cleaning solution to enter the pool. Regular maintenance on your pump is very easy. All you got to do is clean the pump basket out regularly. It is important to keep the O-ring clean and well lubricated. Check for leaks. Always refer to your owner's manuals. Tips on troubleshooting water and equipment are available on our webpage. When maintaining your automatic chemical control feeder, the control unit is virtually maintenance-free. Cleaning of the enclosure, front panel, and flow cell can be performed by using a clean, soft cloth moisturized with a mild soap and water solution or glass cleaner. Use of abrasives or harsh chemicals may cause damage to the enclosure and membrane switch panel. Always test and record water chemistry readings in compliance with health department requirements using a quality manual test kit. Calibrate the pH sensor periodically. The sensors must be clean and free from oils, chemical deposits, and contamination to function properly. After saturation in pool or spa water, the sensors may need to be cleaned on a weekly or monthly basis depending on bathing load or other facility-specific characteristics. Slow response, increased need to calibrate pH, and inconsistent readings are indicators that the sensors are in need of cleaning. To clean the sensors, disconnect from the controller and carefully remove them from the flow cell. Wash the probes with a dishwashing liquid and a cotton swab or cloth, then soak for 3 minutes in a solution of muriatic acid diluted 20:1. Then rinse with water and install the sensors. Do not let the probe ends dry out. If it is expected that the probes will be dry for a long period of time, remove them from the manifold and submerge the tips in water. If properly cleaned sensors provide unstable readings or require excessive calibrating, the pair of sensors should be replaced. Always replace both sensors, never replace just one sensor. When maintaining your chemical feed pump, crystal buildup is seldom a problem with the pumps. However, in very hard water areas, it may be necessary to flush the pump hose and tubing. Use plain water or a weak solution of muriatic acid, about a half a pint of muriatic acid to 1 gallon of water. Always add acid to water. Wear protective clothing, gloves, and safety glasses. Preventative maintenance is the best defense against possible leaks. System pressure must be removed prior to releasing the tubing to prevent backflow. Plug the injection fitting. A check valve may be used at the point of injection to prevent backflow. Then the tubing assembly can be disconnected at its connection to the check valve, and it will not be necessary to plug the injection hole. Inspect the tubing and lubricate the hose often to maintain the coating of silicone grease. Replace the pump hose when found to be deteriorating or at the start of a new season. A pump hose under light duty may last more than 1 season, but the cost of a pump hose is far less than damaged pump or unscheduled maintenance call. When using an automatic chemical feeder, basic safety precautions should always be followed, including wearing protective clothing, gloves, and safety glasses at all times when working on or near the metering pump. Install the metering pump and chemical containers in a ventilated, secured location to protect children, pets, and property from chemical hazards. Containment and/or washdown capability must be in accordance with local regulations and chemical suppliers' instructions. Read and follow all instructions supplied with the chemicals being fed. Consult supplier of chemical if use and handling instructions are not available. Always read and understand all MSDS sheets and follow them. Depressurize the system prior to connecting or disconnecting the metering pump. It is also important to keep a clean equipment room. Store all chemicals properly to avoid any accidental spills or mixing of chemicals. Mixing of chemicals could cause serious injury or death. Have all chemicals properly labeled and understand your MSDS sheet. In addition to having a clean facility, it is also important to have organized records. A good owner's manual should specify how many gallons of water the pool or spa has, type of sanitizer, water chemistry log, all equipment owner's manuals, and all repairs and maintenance information. If you would like a manual such as this, you can contact us at our website. Now I'd like to demonstrate the basics of cleaning a swimming pool. Start brushing the pool from the shallow end to the deep end, pushing all the debris toward the main drain. Prevent moving debris around the pool. Brushing toward the drain will suck any dust and debris out of the pool and trap it in the filter. It's always best to brush the pool before you backwash. If there's excessive debris in the pool, it's best to vacuum first. Let me demonstrate getting the vacuum started. To start, you put the vacuum head onto your pole. Put your hose to your vacuum head, and then put it in the water. Once the vacuum head is in the water, push the hose into the water to get all the air out of the hose. Hold the water in the hose and move down to your skimmer. And push it through the skimmer throat. Pull out your basket and set the hose in the back port of the skimmer. Now that I've got my vacuum going, you just move the vacuum head slowly across the floor, trying to catch all the debris. Wash the waterline tile. Always use a non-abrasive cleaner so you don't damage the tile. When changing a light, always disconnect the power at the circuit breaker before servicing the light. Failure to do so could result in electrical shock. To remove the light assembly, remove the pilot screw at the top of the face ring, then remove the light from the niche and place the assembly on the deck. Disassemble the light fixture and remove the bulb. After disassembling the light fixture, remove the bulb and then replace it with the new bulb. Then remove and discard the old gasket. Install a new gasket during the reassembly of the light. Never operate the underwater light for more than 10 seconds unless it is totally submerged in water. Without total submersion, the light assembly will get extremely hot and may result in serious burns or in breakage of the lamp or lens. It's important to always use a new gasket when reinstalling the light fixture. Once you have the clamp tightened, submerge the light to make sure you have no water leaks. Once you are satisfied that you have no leaks, then reinstall the light fixture into the niche. Now that the light has been securely fastened in the light niche, you can go turn your breaker back on to turn your light back on.